What's up, guys? It's Joey with Grit Marketer. So today we're going to talk about seduction tips. So I've been reading a lot of books about seduction, and there's a really good book I really recommend. One's called Influence, really good book. Predictably Irrational is really good. Just finishing Art of Seduction. This is like the mini concise version. But one of the things I've been picking up is something that's really interesting for how to apply it to ads. Now, of course, a lot of these books are sometimes talking about just the human condition in general, and some of them are talking about, of course, relationships and how to pick up women or men. But for our purposes, for marketing purposes, the idea is pretty simple. To create desire, because you need desire for someone to want to work with you. To create desire, there has to be a lack or a gap or something missing that needs to be fulfilled that creates a desire. Now, sometimes if you just come out and say, you suck at this, like you suck at marketing, you suck at driving sales to your thing, sometimes people don't they hear it, but they don't pay attention to it. It's just noise. So one of the ways to help create a gap, to create desire, a lack, is to insinuate things passively, not directly, kind of subtle hints, subtle tips. You could even say something like, for example, one of the ads I'm going to start running is going to be like, hey, if you can't predict your sales and your leads, you can't make money efficiently and predictably, which means you can't really run your life the way you should run your life. And what I'm trying to convey is that, if you have a lack, if you don't know what's going on, if you can't sufficiently get your leads to come to you, you have a problem. You have a hobby. This is not a business. A business has predictability to it. And so a lot of people come to me because they realize, oh my God, I have a service, I have a thing that I do, but it's very natural and organic, referral based, friend based. It kind of came to be, which is amazing, by the way. That's really fucking awesome. But they can't predict anything. They have no clue how many leads are coming in. They have no clue what's going to happen next month. They don't know how they're going to grow. They don't know how much money it takes to advertise. And they're just kind of lost in the wind. And there's a lot of uncertainty with that. And I know this for a fact because I ran 3 companies, and there's times where we weren't marketing that well. And it was just well, I hope we get a client next month. I hope we get a referral next month. It was that hope game. You just hope something's going to come. It's like going fishing without a fucking lure or bait and just hoping a fish is going to swim by and get caught on the actual hook that has nothing on it. That's essentially what most people are doing with their business and their marketing. And so by having systems in place, advertising in place, lead generation in place, it's going to allow you to predictably understand how much money you're going to make. That's important. Right now, we have about a $15,000 a month budget running. We just launched it. I partnered up with a new ad guy, helped me out with ad management. I'm doing more of the creative. He's doing more of the analytics stuff, because our goal is to tie actual dollars. Yeah, dude, hopium. Exactly. To actual dollars to ads, so you can say, okay, great, it cost me $1,000 to make $5,000. So therefore, if I want to make $50,000, I need to do $10,000 in $5,000 in ads. My math, I am not a mathematician. But the idea is to have those optics to understand, okay, this much money brings in this much leads, which then this many leads brings in this many sales. If you don't know that, and you don't have that going, your business cannot grow predictably the way you want it to grow. Therefore, you can't really have a freedom lifestyle knowing in 3 months how much money you're going to make. It's going to be a hope game. Just like Robert said, it's hopium. It's just not real. It's a fake. I don't know. It drives me crazy because I've lived in that space and I get it. And it's comfortable sometimes, but it's not, because you're constantly wondering where your next money's going to come from. So anyways, my encouragement to you guys, to anybody, is to not just randomly run ads, but to at least start the process of understanding lead generation. Lead generation mean marketing, advertising, referrals, networks, Dream 100s, anything that gets your name out there, gets people into your funnel. I hate the word funnel, but it's the most common use. So we use the word funnel, which means a landing page to generate a lead, which then can generate a sale. You need to master the art and science of lead generation and sales. It's that simple. I had a client who was a doctor, and he was like, I don't want to care about this stuff. I don't care about ads. I don't care about funnels and messaging and making a video. I just want more patience. And it took a while, but we talked and I told him, like, hey, that's fine. If you don't want to worry about that stuff, that's fine. Go get a job. Go work for somebody else that does all that stuff, that worries about that stuff, and they'll give you leads and you pay them and, and all that stuff. That's great. But if you want to be an entrepreneur, you want to be a business owner, not just someone that's employed for themselves, that, their clients ends up being their boss. If you want to be a business owner, to scale, to grow, to have your own lifestyle that serves you, you have to master marketing. And it doesn't have to be a bad term either. Marketing is simply just your message that you're broadcasting to the world to help people. Like, you just got to master that shit. Master the idea of lead generation. Like, how much money does it cost to bring in leads? Like, you have to know that. You need to know these simple questions. So, one, how much does it cost per lead for you? And how many leads do you need to make a sale? Those are the two things that are most important right now. Like, there's lots of numbers. Those are the two I want you to focus on. How much does it cost for a lead? How much does it cost for a sale? Or how many leads does it take for a sale? So if it costs you $10 a lead and it takes you 10 leads to get one sale, that means every $100 you spend, you're going to make a sale. That's the math you need to understand so that you can throttle the machine up or down if you need to. These are things that are that important. I know I keep hitting that point over and over again, but guys, you have to do this. So part of this whole process is being able to seduce people. Seduction is a very masterful game. You got to read books like The Art of Seduction to learn these concepts. The biggest one I'm taking away from his book right now is that there's a gap. In order for desire to happen, desire's over here, there has to be a gap over here. So our job is to understand, what is that gap that they're missing? What are they missing in their lives that's going to create the desire to want our product? Now, of course, this could be used for terribleness. Like, you can be a bad person to do this stuff and manipulate people. But my job and your job, since you're a good person, you wouldn't be watching this if you weren't, because I repel bad people for some reason. They don't like me. Is that you're trying your best to help people, and the way to do that is sometimes you need to expose the areas that they need help in. By exposing that and insinuating a better option, a better outcome for them, they're going to come up with that idea on their own. So there's me telling you, you suck at marketing, you need to know your numbers. And then there's me insinuating that, hey, you know what? When you know your numbers, like when you know how much it costs per leads and per acquisition, you know how much it costs per sale, you have this freedom lifestyle. Like, I'm planning vacations. We're going next weekend to, what do you call it? Not Big Bear. Lake Arrowhead. And I know how much it's going to cost. I know how many leads I need to make. I need to have this big purchase I'm trying to do. I know how much it's going to cost. I know how many leads I need to get to pay for these things. So therefore, I need to invest this much money. I have this lifestyle that's kind of free because I can project how much I need to make based off of what I'm going to spend on advertising. That's a really cool place to be. So by me showing you and insinuating that's what I do, the idea is that you're going to come up with the idea in your head that, fuck, maybe I should know this shit. Maybe I should be good at generating leads. Maybe I should be good at sales and marketing. So by doing that, it links that gap. So that's what I'm trying to get at today. So the seduction tip number one is to create the gap, to create the lack that's going to drive the desire. And that's going to help you with your marketing to at least start thinking about, what is that gap? What is that desire? All right, guys, I'm out for the day. It's Friday. We have date night tonight at Mastro's, which is really rad. They're still open. In California, almost everybody's fucking closed here, except for some reason Mastro's, which is in like this really nice area at the water on the beach, and for some reason they're open. So we're like, reservation for two, please, which is amazing. So we'll be there tonight. Guys, have a great rest of your Friday. I'll talk to you later.